Not long now until 2023. In fact, only 2 more sleeps. And with the new year comes a brand new Chinese year too. And the Chinese horoscope next year will be... The year of the rabbit. If you were born in 1939, 1951, 63, 1987, 99 or even 2011, you are a rabbit. So what will you and your fellow zodiac animals be expecting in the Chinese New Year? Sarah Yip is a numerologist and growing up in a Chinese family knows all about the Chinese horoscope. Sarah, welcome. So what is the rabbit year going to look like?
Hi, Andrea. Great to be here. Just wanted to mention 1975 was also a rabbit year. For those who are wondering. So the rabbit year is considered actually the luckiest year in the Chinese Zodiac, which is 12 animal signs. So you'll have about 1.4 billion people, wanting to go forwards in life. And so that's the first theme. The other thing is in the race to name the Zodiac, the rabbit was actually the survivor. So it actually fell into the river and then it got saved by a dragon and a passing log. So it's really a year where people help each other. It's about power to the peaceful. I really feel like it's a year of recovery for a lot of people and they're just choosing to be simpler in their approach to life.
Yeah, and it's the year of the water rabbit.
Right, so there's 12 different animal signs, but there's actually 5 types of elements. Mm-hmm. And so the water rabbit itself only comes through every 60 years. And so if we look back, for example, at 1963, so this was a huge year for the planet. We saw 250,000 people march in Washington for civil rights. This was when Martin Luther King Jr. gave his speech. Nuclear testing ended at Maralinga. Mm-hmm. And that's the energy we're moving into. So it's very much about revolution, whether you look at Chinese astrology, Western astrology, or even numerology.
Is it particularly special for people born in a rabbit year? So rabbits, this is their year?
100%, yeah, definitely. So it depends on sort of which astrology you talk to, but the general consensus is rabbits are in the spotlight. I mean, you've got everybody talking about them, and so there's already that sort of public energy. But the idea is that it's about how much you embrace your rabbitness.
Yeah.
So rabbit people generally are very sensitive, they're very diplomatic, they're very peaceful. And so it's a year where they may be actually thrust into leadership. And I guess it's about how brave they're willing to be in terms of how good the year will turn out. But yeah, certainly huge amounts of opportunities.
Shall we run through what some of the other animal signs in the Chinese horoscope are going to experience this year and some of their personality traits as well? Maybe let's start with mine. That's me. I'm a rooster.
You're hilarious. Well, firstly, if I could just clarify, so I totally love the Chinese animal signs, but in terms of what they experience each year, I personally use more numerology and free will. Mm-hmm. So if it's okay, I will mainly focus on personality with a little bit extra.
Go for it.
So yes, the rooster, obviously bold, confident, attracts attention. My son is a rooster, and the day he walked, he applauded himself. He didn't wait for us. And so you can imagine in a year where it's all about humility, the rooster they will always win, but it's also about sometimes just blending a little bit more with the crowd, mm-hmm. Just working the crowd, to that extra degree. So did you want me to go through the other animals?
Yeah, let's go with dragon next.
Oh, goodness me. Well, did you know that when it's the Chinese Year of the Dragon, the birth rate in China, Taiwan, basically in Asia, goes up by 1 million babies?
Whoa.
So yes, you could say Asians are a little bit more on the mystical side. And so people born in the Year of the Dragon, I think they kind of know their gold. So the dragon helped rabbit. They're really known for being fearless, very hot-headed, very passionate. Just in general, in a rabbit year, again, we would expect them to do pretty well, but it's similar to the rooster. So these are the sort of dominant signs. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's about also allowing other people to speak up.
And the snake?
So the snake is the sexy one.
Sexy snake.
And so in Chinese, when you meet someone, because you always want to know how old they are, you always ask their sign and then you figure it out pretty quick because it's in 12-year hits. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the snakes always get a bit of a So they're very charming and mysterious. They're meant to be the most attractive. Now, a snake's pretty clever, so it hid in the horse's hoof to actually win the race. And so they're very super smart. In a year like the rabbit, I think they could do very well because the rabbit year, it's not so much about strength, it's more about wits.
And what about the horse? You mentioned there the horse's hoof. I'm a pony club girl back in the day.
That's so sweet.
I kind of wish I was a horse, actually.
Oh, well, so in your Chinese horoscope, you actually have 4 different animals depending on the time of day you were born, the month, all these things. But of course, in general, to get attention, we focus on the yearly one. But just to let you know, there could be some horsiness in your chart.
Oh, that's good.
You could look into later. So the horse in general, obviously very energetic, very straightforward. They're actually meant to be the funniest. I guess that's just reminds me of Mr. Ed, actually, when you say the horse.
Yeah.
So in a year like this, again, this is one of the sort of the smart animal energies. I do feel like they'll do well. Now, you're going to notice pretty quickly, and this is something I'm very honest about, I use the animals as an icebreaker. I personally believe that every individual has their own life experience and opportunities coming to them. So, for example, when I do a forecast, I would look at a lot more than just the animal. So I hope that's not too dodgy for this call, but I love the personality, so I'm happy to talk about them.
Yeah. And the goat's personality?
Oh, so the goats get a really bad rap. So in Chinese, people will have, they will take a lot of effort not to have a goat, which is quite sad. I'm actually married to a goat. Now, what's so interesting is there's a TED Talk on the Chinese Zodiac where the lady actually looked at the Forbes top 300 leaders, and actually they were the 2 most unpopular signs, which is goat and tiger. And she actually postulated that maybe the unpopular signs, there's less competition and maybe they have more of a point to prove. So look, I love my
You
goats.
love your goats.
They're super creative. They can be a bit defensive, but they're very resilient. They always get there in the end.
All right. What about a monkey, if you're born in the year of the monkey?
So I'm a monkey, and we are considered to be the naughtiest and the hardest to marry, and that certainly played out for me. I hope it's not TMI, but I only got married in my mid-30s. My parents were just like, marry whoever at this point, because in Chinese culture, anything over like mid-20s is a big deal.
Yeah.
So, super intelligent, a bit fickle. Look, they're actually very good in entertainment. You find them hugely overrepresented there, so that's something that helped me, I think, in what I do.
And let's move on to the dog, year of the dog. If you're born in the year of the dog, what do you like?
Obviously a huge amount of love. Very loyal. They're considered the most cautious, the ones who will guard people and look after them. So there's going to be obviously a lot of parallels with some of the Eastern and the Western outlooks. Probably the only ones where it's different is things like the dragon, where in Western culture they're always trying to kill the dragon, and in Chinese we're always trying to make them king. So that's quite interesting. All
right, and the next one, the pig.
Oh, right. So pig came last in the race because it took a nap and then had a meal. And so I guess in Chinese, when you say you're a pig, people are like, they can kind of go either way.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh boy, you're going to be extra work. But other people will go, oh, well, you're going to be the funnest person around.
Yeah.
So it's really about who you talk to. I like them. Look, I've always, I always feel for the underdog or the underpig or the undergoat.
Yeah. And I think we've got 2 more to go. Rat.
We do.
Is that right? Yep.
Rat. So, Rat is very interesting. And actually 2020, which was that heck of a year we all just sort of barely survived, that was a rat year. So that's the beginning of the zodiac. Now, the rat actually won the race to be first by tricking all the other animals. And so it's known as being very shrewd, very competitive, very opportunistic. And it's a lot about, as you can imagine, survival. And we did see some of those themes back in 2020.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish up with what are the personalities like of people born year of the tiger?
Now, just checking, did we
do? Oh, we didn't do ox.
No, it's okay. It's just, I love them too.
There's so many.
I know. Gosh. So it's a bit of a handful, isn't it? But when you grow up with it, it's super normal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the alphabet. So ox actually came second by helping rat. Oxes are known to be some of the nicest, most sacrificing people. My third son is an ox. He's only 1, but he puts his nappies in the bin. He takes the dishes out. He takes the clothes off the line. He's adorable. So I have, again, a soft spot for them. And then, of course, we have the flashy tiger. So it was actually a tiger year last year. And tiger is known to be highly emotional, very up and down. It actually has the marking, in Chinese, it has the character for king on its forehead. So there's a lot here about sort of leadership, and we saw a lot of changes in leadership last year. So look, that's a sort of a very quick look at the animals. I'll be honest, a lot of people, they spend decades mastering this, and this has just been sort of a quick look. So I hope that was okay.
That was brilliant. Do you get excited around this time of the year where it feels like things are kind of refreshing again?
So in Chinese, we don't change New Year on the 1st of January. We actually change it at the new moon. So it will begin on the 22nd of January, and it changes each year. So if you really want to know your animal sign and you were born in Jan or Feb, it always pays to look up the astrology that year.
Well, new moon on the 22nd of January. Sarah Yip, she's a numerologist. She knows a lot about the Chinese zodiac, and now you know a little bit about yours. Sarah, thank you so much. Happy year of the rabbit, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, take care. Bye.